All right, everybody, welcome to another video. And this video is to clarify my last video because I think there is some misunderstanding. A dang old nerd has pointed out that he would prefer to carry a first aid kit, IFAC kit, what have you not, on a pouch on your belt. And that's all fine. He thinks that it's too much to wear some of the stuff on the outside of your garment for quick access when all you have to do is just reach in your IFAC pouch or medical kit and get these items. Here's the thing. These are just 1, 2, 3, 4 items. Okay. Technically, just 3 because let's face it, a bandage takes absolutely no space. Okay, you keep this in your pocket, your back pocket, your shirt pocket, or even cargo pants pocket or whatever. Okay, very easy to carry, just like a dollar bill or something. It takes up no space. Really doesn't count as an item. But this is very important, and I'm going to get to that in a second. You carry something like this, all right? And this was just an example. This was not the actual product that I would recommend, okay? A compression type bandage that stick to itself without having to use clips or adhesives to keep your wound intact is very important. And to be able to access something like this quickly is important as well. So I would probably carry around, if I was to carry a compression bandage on the outside of my garment, it would be probably something half this size in width, and carry it somewhere on the outer garment, outer pouch, or in my pocket or whatever, along with the bandage or whatever, or have it hanging off of my backpack or my belt like I had it in my last video. And I'll get back to this in a second. Now, tourniquet is absolutely no good to you if you keep this in your backpack. And I'm going to tell you why. You're walking along and you come across somebody who's lost a limb, let's say. You don't have time to let's say you're walking along, a tree falls down, you fall down, the tree lands on your leg and it severs your leg or your arm or whatever. Okay. You don't have time or the capability to go digging into a pouch, a backpack, or whatever to get this out in time to save your life. Because once you sever an artery, that's it. Blood is coming out of your body like faucet, water coming out of a faucet. Okay, and you have to have this in reach on your body on the exterior to be able to reach this and apply to yourself. Okay, now if you're treating someone, if you are treating someone, that's a different story. Then you know exactly where this is. You're not panicked. You're not incapable, physically incapable. You can reach into a bag, get this out, and go treat somebody. Okay. But when you're hurt and you're trying to self-treat yourself, having this available immediately where you can reach it without looking for it is the most important thing, most important part of using a tourniquet. Okay. That's the first important thing, okay? And then using it properly is the second. All right, now, medical shears. I recommend that you carry a medical shears or some kind of scissor that is not sharp, that you're not going to impale yourself with or cut yourself with while you're trying to cut away clothes, straps, your belt, whatever, because when you're hurt, you don't have the luxury or the capability of taking off everything properly. So you have to cut away your pants, your shirt, or whatever just to get to the wound. Then this is important to have. And again, when you're hurt, when you have to self-treat yourself, looking for things is not what you're going to do, okay? Look, in a calm situation where you're not even injured, how many times have you had all this really good equipment stuff and then you get a little boo-boo on your hand and then you go wash it off in the sink and put a napkin on it? Why? Because you don't want to be bothered having to go into your backpack or go looking for stuff that you have stored away. Okay, so having things available, okay, and ready to use is part of the value of the equipment. You will use things that are available to you right away. Okay, you don't have time to be organized. You don't have time to say, okay, I can go get this and I can go ahead and treat myself after I go find this stuff and that and get all organized. When you have all this ready and available to go, there's that process that you don't have to ponder on in order to initiate self-treatment. Now, going back to this bandage, somebody brought out the fact that, okay, if you carry around a compression bandage like this, opened and not packaged, okay, it's unsanitary and it's not sterile, okay? I 100% agree. Number one, the medical industry that sells stuff like this sells it in airtight vacuum sealed bags. All right. Now, if you're going to carry around airtight vacuum sealed bagged bandages and stuff like that, kudos to you. I'm glad that you are, because it's probably going to deteriorate and go bad if you don't store it like that. But in fact, if you're going out into the field, good luck if you get hurt and you want to open one of those airtight vacuum sealed bags while you're hurt. Okay. You could barely operate scissors, let alone try to get a knife out to open that package or tear it open with your teeth or whatever. Now, I understand some of them are already open. They're easily opened or whatever, this and that. But still, it takes an extra effort. So, always having something available, ready to go, is very important. Now, that was the whole point of my last video. Now, why do I have a bandage, a sterile bandage in a pack like this? Because I know that this is not sterile, okay? So I put this on the wound first, okay? After whatever you can do to get the excess blood off of your wound, you put this on to a sterile bandage right on top of the wound, and then you wrap it with this compression bandage to keep pressure on that, which is pressed up against the wound to help you stop bleeding. All right, so now, these three items is not the entire medical kit. I am not discouraging anyone to carry a medical kit or a medical pouch. In fact, you should have a medical pouch and medical kit with all the necessary things that you need to treat yourself in case of illness, in case of injury, and whatever you need a medical kit for, okay? But in an emergency, okay, and all injuries are somewhat emergencies, but in emergency where you have to stop and control bleeding as fast as you can or quickly as you can in order to minimize damage or blood loss, or even just minimize making a mess, okay? You want at least these items outside of your garment ready to be carried. Now, I know in my last video, it looked kind of like a goofy, messy cluttered look, but that was just an example. I'm not going to carry a medical shear and this all on the strap of my backpack. And that was just to show an example of having something outside visible on your body. A medical shear can clearly be on your belt in its own sheath, okay, where it's separate from the medical kit, and you can just easily reach in and grab it and pull it out just like a knife, okay. Bandage can easily be stored inside your pocket or cargo pants pocket. And the tourniquet, yes, this can go on the strap of your backpack or on your belt in a case where it can be easily located and pulled out. And this can also, in a smaller form factor, this is basically used inside my house, okay? I'm using this as an example. Okay, you can get smaller or narrower wraps that can easily fit inside of your pocket or hang right off of your belt or backpack or whatever. But all these things do not make the complete medical kit. But these are the things I recommend that you carry on the outside of your body in plain accessible and sometimes visible way, because putting all this in a IFAC kit or a pouch along with your other medication and other first aid kits and items is a mistake, because now you are faced with pulling this out with other things falling out of the pouch, or if it's just a pouch, or you're faced with going into the pouch and looking for items. And also, while you're looking for items in the pouch, like I said, you can get blood inside your kit, okay, and that makes everything less convenient to work with. When you have blood on things get slippery, things get messy. You can't read directions on certain things because you got blood all over your packaging, and now you can't read your directions and this and that. So these are the things just to quickly stop you from making a mess, quickly apply pressure to stop bleeding, so you can now sit down and go through your medical pack or kit to treat yourself at a leisure. So that was the whole point of my last video. I know that some people will agree and some people will disagree, but I think most people, even in the Legion Tacticals stream, the man who he was interviewing said he doesn't even use IFACs. He doesn't use medical kits. Everything that he needs is in that big, huge medic bag, or he essentially uses a few items that actually pertains to trauma and direct use of stopping bleeding. Okay, so he was referring to tourniquets. He was referring to compression bandages. In my opinion, I don't know how many times this has become useful, but this is in a medical situation, this is a lot more useful than a knife. Now, imagine you just cut yourself with a knife. Are you going to use a knife to treat yourself? Because now you're endangering yourself to another cut, especially when you're trying to cut off clothing, cut excess bandage to form it on your wound. And now you're using a knife that you just cut yourself with to try to treat yourself. No, you go straight to this, okay? There's no actual threat or risk of you actually cutting yourself unless you're so delirious that you put your finger in where the shears are and you cut your own finger off. But in reality, there's no sharp edges on this points on this shear for you to cut yourself when you're cutting off clothing and whatever you need to do to treat yourself. Okay, so that is my longer than the original video to clarify my first video. Thanks for watching, everybody. And whether you disagree with me or agree with me, this is just my opinion. I believe that at least these 1, 2, 3, 4 items is essential to be carried in a manner where you can see it or readily access it without having to look for it through other items. All right. Thanks for watching.